I'm not stress busting, but what I make the molds with for the head, this needs to be really molded, get rid of the moisture content in it for 5 minutes. So that's what I'm doing. Right.
What is it? Using? What are you using?
Now, what am I using? This is all part of today's thing. This is the stuff I buy.
Oh yeah. Is that paper clay? Like paper
it's
clay?
Party clay. It's not paper clay. Do you remember we did those molds down in Pembrokeshire? It's that stuff.
Okay.
Right. So I will go through my little babies one by one. The first one I did was Good Queen Bess.
Oh, she's lovely.
Now I'm going to redo her, but I shall probably put her somewhere just to retire to, because I've got better at it.
Oh, I think that's good. That's good.
That's Good Queen Bess.
Yeah.
And then I did Anne Boleyn, but I suddenly been look. Anne Boleyn didn't wear many ruffs, so I might do another one without a ruff. But there's Anne Boleyn and her little cross, and that's Anne Boleyn. And then I thought, well, I better do Catherine of Aragon, and that's Catherine of Aragon with a mantilla.
Yeah, beautiful. Did you have a pattern for these?
No, I just looked on Pinterest at pictures, because when it came to Anna Cleves, I printed that one off, because she was the most difficult. I've still got bits because of these funny sleeves she's got, as you can see in that.
It's well done though.
But and her funny headdress. But she's the one that outlived them all and lived very comfortably, thank you very much. Then then there's Henry.
Oh,
with his complete and he's slit bits and pieces. Yeah, and I haven't given him a leg ulcer, but I should have done, I suppose, but he's got a garter. And he's got a feather in his cap. That's Henry. And the last one I did was poor old Catherine Howard.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Very good.
Who this? I've seen a picture of her going to the gallows, so I've copied that. And she wore a little mop cap, and she had her hair plaited and tied down in a braid. Yeah. Oh. The only thing that's missing, I've got to put a cord round there. But I've got loads of cords, but I haven't got a black one, so I'm gonna have to make a black cord. So that's her in her little chemise, ready to go and have her head chopped off, because she had an affair before she got married. And Thomas Cranmer didn't like her and decided that she had to go. She was only married for 18 months, poor dab. Right, so the next one I'm doing is Jane Seymour, who provided him with an heir. Now, how do I make them? So I use this, and then I have a mold. That's the head mold. They've all got hands. They've all got hands, apart from the first one I made, because I couldn't find my hand mold, and she's just got pipe cleaners with a bit of pink on the end. So, and that's the hand mold. This is meant to be a baby thing for christening cakes, but I suddenly thought, no, I'm gonna paid all these. They're terribly expensive, these. They had them yesterday on Create and Craft, and they were £58 for a set of moon astronaut rocket. I know there was quite a lot, but I still think there was a lot. Right, I pushed it into there.
Yes.
Right, and now then I'm going to peel it back, and it comes out like that.
Oh, right.
So what I do is I bend the head back a bit, and then I add, because what you meant to do with them is then put your arms in the arm mold. Let me just put the arm. Little bit in the arm mold. I push them into the mold. You're meant to go right the way round, but it's hardly worth it because I end up chopping them off. Right, then I'm going to tip those out with one hand.
Ah, that's very good, isn't it? Wow.
There's the other one, and I'm going to straighten them up, because what you're meant to do is once you've done the mold, you're meant to stick the head on like that, so it's a baby. But I don't want a baby now, because they all wear these dresses which are square cut. What's the proper name, Trixie, when you've got a square cut? There is a proper name anyway.
I don't
I'm
know.
going to give her a bit of a head, a bit of a neck, and a bit of a bust,
Right.
because it's easy. With the most of these, I've given a bit of a bust. What happened to, I had one here on a stick. Here, this is what I'm working on. I didn't give her much of a bust,
Right.
unfortunately, so I'm going to have to fill it in, and I didn't on the others, so it makes it more difficult to fit the dresses. So I just, there, she looks more.
And that will dry like that now then? How long
Yeah,
will that take?
Overnight roughly, but and then I paint them with watercolors,
Oh, how lovely.
and then once I've got to that stage, I tried using the arms, the whole arms, which I've got here. Says I, where's it gone? Oh, so much for getting everything into hand, Heather. Oh yeah, here it is. You see, that's how they come. This one I did with Filmo, because I didn't want to waste my expensive clay, so I did. They're meant to come like that.
Ah,
The hands aren't long enough because they're baby's hands, so I
Oh,
chop
right.
them off, and then I glue them and put a bit of glue and stick them up the sleeves,
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Yes.
So
Ah,
if you're interested in doing some of these,
yes.
I
Okay.
don't mind giving you a couple of hands and a couple of heads.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Okay. So this one here, I've used embroidery floss for her hair,
Oh, that's good.
and I'm going to make this thing. I've cut it with a pair of scalloped pinking shears,
Right.
and I'm going to then glue onto there some beads, because they've got beads across.
Yes.
I think I might take a felt tip across there first and give it a color.
That's like Anne Boleyn style, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that, well, Jane Seymour had one of these, and they all
Yeah.
had them after a certain time. If you look at the pictures on Pinterest. Right, so when you
Yes.
get to that stage, the next thing you need is to get a skewer up her bottom.
Uh-huh.
Sweet. That may
So-
be evil torture.
It is evil torture, isn't it? Right, so I'm going to stick. It's so you've got something to work round, an armature, if you're talking about. Right. So I'll leave that one there to dry. Now, so then I work on the hair first, because I find I can give them character if I got hair. If they haven't got any hair like this, madam, I get lost. I need to have a face and hair. So there she is. I got to give her a face. So I use fine liners. Just go in where the indentation is made with the clay. I go in and just go round her eyes. There we are. That's all I've done, is done a circle in the middle, go round her eyes, give a couple of eyebrows. Right, and I'll just put her lips in. What I probably will do, one I've completely finished and ready to show them, I may put some chalk on her cheek to give her a bit of rouge. Apart from good Queen Bess, who was meant to look like a bloody ghost, probably died of lead poisoning. Right, let's just put there we are.
Right.
She looks more like a young lady. Right, then the dress. Any old scrap. No, I probably do this all completely wrong. What I do is I take a length of material. I got some of this red. Oh no, I'm going to do blue. I fancy a change. I've got some blue here. Yeah. Right. 2 pieces of material, and then what I tend to do, I lay the head. should have bought the other. Yeah, I'll do it and then show you. I lay the head down on my material like that. Oh, go away. I got something on my, go away. Don't want that. How do I get rid of that? Oh, got rid of it. I lay it on my material like that. So I work out where her neck's going to be. 1, 2. Right. Then I draw the shape of the dress. I've drawn the shape of the dress on the material.
Right.
Then what I then do, now I know where I want the bust, I quickly go round with my sewing machine on where I want the bust to be before I do any cutting, because you've got such tiddly little bits to turn.
Yes.
You know, by the time you've turned it, you've probably got frayed edges. Bear with me, it's just here. I don't know if you can see
Yeah,
that.
wrong
I've gone
period.
round. I've gone round. I'll show you the one I've done. I went round with this one.
Right.
I still got ends that need cutting off. And once I've gone round, then I take a pair of plain bladed scissors. There they are. And I cut into the middle of my chest. Like that. See, and I cut, and can you see what I've done? I cut into the middle.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that I can bend them down and down and down. I suppose you could glue, couldn't you? If you didn't want to sew, because you've got some fabric tack. And then I've got my tidy chest.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
use a what you call it pen, a Fredder's, one of these
Yeah.
friction pens, you just iron it and the mark goes away.
Oh.
They're brilliant. I got black, blue, and a red one. So you draw on there, then iron it, and then the biro's gone.
A thread. What did you call it? A threader's pen?
It's Fredder's. That's the make of it. It's a friction pen. Fredder's by Crafter's Companion.
Oh.
You can get them in the news
in the
agent.
rain.
Yeah, they have them in the news agent in Bridge Street in Haverford.
Right. So once I've done that, and then I put the two sides together, and I should end up with something like that. I do leave, I know it's only a doll, a model, but I do leave a hole for the sleeves.
Right.
Because of and I glue those. I don't sew.
Yeah.
So I put my dolly in there so I can slip her in.
I see. Ah, yes, I see.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, right. Oh, that's good, isn't it?
Now I need to get some stuffing. I've got to put some meat on the bones. So
Yeah.
I use the stuff you know, in duvets, that stuff. What's it called?
Polyester.
Polyester,
Yes.
not Kapok, because that's terrible stuffing. Get it wet, it's the end. Right. Well, I tend to fluff it up a bit because I find it goes in easier. So I shove that up her bust. Now, because she's got this, I want to give her, I haven't given her a proper front. I get a bit of pink silk. Give her a false front. But, right. So I'm going to put her bust in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some of this fibre fill on here and then shove it up a jumper. It's got to be tight, otherwise it won't look right. There. Right, so that's better. I will tidy that bit up in a second. As I said, I'm going to probably colour this and put beads on it. Right,
Yes.
now I'll shove a bit more of this up her middle, and as you see, I've cut
yes.
that piece in half. I drew a line and I turn and I've roughly headed it. because they
Right.
always had these split dresses. I remember as being in school, I used to make them with split
Yeah.
dresses. So what I need to do there, once I've got enough stuffing, again, I
Yeah.
glue, I don't sew. I've cut a
Right.
piece of material and I shall shove that underneath there and I shall glue it up
Oh,
there
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes.
so that, you know, it sits there and it's
Yes.
tidy. Now you've got to do the sleeves. So, okay,
Yes.
I go on to do the sleeves. Now the sleeves is a piece of the velvet again. And I tend to do triangles. Cut a triangle of velvet. I take a piece of another piece of material and back it.
Right.
So either this piece of this
Yes.
and just back it and then turn it inside out so that you got, you know, you right sides together, sew the way around apart from a little bit and then turn it inside out so it ends up like that. Right,
Right.
okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't, so I would sew all the way around. I'm not going to, it's going to take up too much time. And once I've got it all sewn all the way around, I then, can you just imagine that's inside?
Yes. Yes.
I turn it over. Right, so I turn it over. So it's that shape.
Right.
So this backing's inside and it's that
Yeah.
shape.
I
And then
see.
I just put a little bit of stuffing in the end there. Little bit of stuffing in the end.
Yes.
Push it in so that you can't see it. A blob of glue on there from the glue gun. And shove it in there.
Oh, right.
But when you put it in, you want to make sure that you pin it, then you can see. Oh, trust me picking up a pin that won't go in. That's it. But you've got the droopy bit hanging down, see?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so that would, oh dear Heather, this would be inside, okay? And what I've done, I've hemmed on the bottom, just done a running stitch on the bottom, that's red
Right.
that side, just so that it doesn't fray, though I have used my pinking shears. I got these lovely scalloped pinching shears as
Oh,
opposed
right.
to, yeah, which
Oh.
gives, so you do that both sides. Then you take the arm, which you hope you've straightened out enough and it's dry, you paint it, and then with a tiny piece of white sheeting, or you could use silk or whatever, but I've been using white sheeting, which is here. Again, I shall just cut myself a strip off. And I've got the scalloped edge. I just run it round a couple of times. I have to paint these when the time. Right. Because you can't have white hands. And then I take oh dear, I keep touching the computer. Then I take a length of white thread. Because they used to have ruched sleeves, didn't they? So the best way, it went length of white thread, and just above, I would have glued that just above where I run it round, so it looks like it's got a ruched sleeve.
Right. I see.
Okay,
Yeah.
right, and pull it tight.
Yes.
And then if you get it all together in one place where you do it, then you can push the sleeve down. It both, and then I put a blob of glue on that. Make sure you got the right arm in the right armhole, and you shove it up there.
Yeah.
To the top.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
there are, and then you do the same the other side. And what I sit them on is old, I buy a lot of this in TK Maxx.
Right.
This one had purple velvet on. I sit them on these.
Ah,
So
right.
if I've done a long enough one, if not, I've got some old wooden
Ah, yes.
On cotton
wooden
reels.
ones, and then they can sit on there.
Ah, right. Right. So you attach them to that then?
Well, yeah, I take them off, and then if I transport them, I can then lay them flat.
Right.
And then when I get to where I'm doing, this is me thinking in the future. If I get to where I'm going to be doing a talk on them, I just stick them in. I will finish this one today, and I will show you what it looks like online, tidy.